connect with me. When you come to the satsang or the gathering of a master, you must adjust and fine-tune yourself to be on the same wavelength of the master, and then alone you will know what he is saying by virtue of the experience you have, not by the words you listen to. Every word uttered is a transmission in a minuscule dosage. So that depends upon the individual receptivity. Behind the words is the living Spirit of God. That is the Spirit which has to be experienced. It cannot be bottled. It cannot be subject to an ephemerical test in the laboratory. And it cannot be comprehended by the human mind or any mind, because it is beyond mind. Even God as mind cannot comprehend God as consciousness. When God comes down as mind, he projects energy, and the energy makes creation. From these particles of energy, we think that we have found the God particle. But this is the placebo effect. It's to give us an inspiration that if you can, by the internal method of experience, find God, why can you not find God in the material? You don't have to go all the way. If you want it that way, then everything on this world, in this planet, is God. Every atom in creation is God. There's nothing that is not God. So you don't have to have a special particle to prove that God was created from matter. Because even if a particle is a God particle, it's still something, because a particle has a form and a name. It's called a particle. There's your first limitation to finding God. The second one, it has a form. It's a particle. But God is not that. God is everywhere. God is nowhere. And God is now here. Let us humble our intellect to vanishing point and get lost in his love. That's how you can find God. No matter how much you search for him in the slush of mind and matter, you will not be able to find, because he is the very essence, so subtle and so beyond, that he has no particle, name, no form, and yet is the very source and substance of your existence. So they say that this, yesterday somebody told me, he said, this is inspired from the ancient scientists, which I gave in my talk on being vegan. The scientist Jagdish Chandra Bose who said that everything not only has a nervous system, it has emotions. So they found this Jagdish Chandra Bose particle, calling the Bose particle the God particle. I don't know where Higgs comes in, but let's put Higgs in. So it's fine, but I can give you this, that yes, that which is in relativity, God is not in relativity. He is beyond relativity, and because of him relativity exists. Because of him creation exists. And creation is in God. God envelopes creation. God is the source and substance of creation. But how much has creation realized God? That's what they're trying to prove. It is in relativity. Relativity cannot reach the supreme reality, but the reality can reach relativity. Therefore, God knows his creation, but creation does not know God through the intellect, because the intellect is matter at its subtlest. Creation can only know God by dissolving the intellect in all humility and merging into his infinite essence of we know not what. We'll have to respect that. I appreciate the curiosity of the human mind, but I'm sorry, we'll have to appreciate that this supreme, ineffable isness of the zero not zero is incomprehensible. But his energy, I'm prepared to not call it the God particle in the supreme sense of God, in the attributeless sense of God, but God in relativity, God the creator, Shakti. So, the God particle can be called the goddess particle, or the Shakti particle, or the God essence particle. But to call it the God particle, which is beyond relativity and creation, it cannot. You cannot comprehend, because God is beyond mind. And how can you, with the mind, comprehend the no mind? The no mind, the no universal no mind, universal cosmic no mind, can only be comprehended by you going into the universal cosmic no mind state, experience, not with your mind. You cannot fit God into the Higgs boson God particle, just as you cannot fit the ocean into the drop. The drop must die temporarily into the ocean. You are the drop. God is the infinite ocean. You cannot accommodate God in your finite mind, in your drop. See, you have to die unto the ocean and partake of the essence of the ocean only as much as he wants you to participate, to partake. So therefore, anything which has a name and form, which it has particle, Higgs, boson, these are limited words in relativity. So God, in a relative sense, you can say, has been found. In his dynamic sense, in the Shakti of feminine sense, Shiva cannot be touched. We just call him Shiva for namesake. He has no name. He is beyond human comprehension. But his energy, his dynamic aspect of the feminine energy, the Kundalini energy, the Kundalini particle, the Kundalini Bose particle, the God essence particle, the Shakti particle. Yes, I agree with that. No problem, no problem. I have no problem, you have no problem. But to try to search for the eternal infinite, we lose ourselves. But the ego is ever pushing on to think that it can bottle God in a dewdrop. You cannot do it. If he chooses to be there, which he does, then he can shine through. And so you are suffering under the same delusion with the Higgs boson particle as a man who holds up a dewdrop in his finger and looks at the sun. The whole sun is reflected in the dewdrop. Ah, here is the God particle. But the sun, it's not a lie because the complete sun image is in the dewdrop. But is the actual sun in the dewdrop? No. So in the sense of your personal perception, yes, the whole sun is in the dewdrop, but in the sense of supreme reality, the sun is where the sun is. This is the delusion of the Higgs boson particle, which they will come up with in future. Energy-wise, Shakti, the Kundalini Higgs boson particle, the goddess Higgs boson particle, yes. Because when God translates himself or works in close proximity to the universal energy called the Kundalini goddess, the mother of the great deep, coming into creation to wield and mold the stars and planets and move her energy of the Holy Spirit through every particle of creation. That energy which can create from zero mass, create mass. But the form is still there, the particle is still there. So it's absolutely not from the nothing. It's not this. Because in the ancient times, I repeat again, this world our sages did perceive is mind stuff materialized. In relative sequence it is built, deceiving mortal eyes. So this is mind stuff materialized, which has been found. All that is composed, they knew, must get decomposed. Where then does reality lie? All matter being composed. So also with the Higgs boson particle, it is composed of something, of form, of name. Then they give the answer. This is the dynamic aspect of the energy, the matter, the energy, the life force. It can be the Higgs boson particle. But then God is, where then does reality lie, all matter being composed? Then they say, here's reality, that all pervading consciousness of stillness through eternity, composed of nothing, not even the particle, composed of nothing, yet of which all else is sure composed. It stands supreme, beyond all dreams, eternally reposed. And mind you, gentlemen, this word and poem which I say to you also is the shadow of the truth. It's just to satisfy your intellect. But that supreme reality can only be got not by the intellect, nor if I talk tons of books and information. It can only be experienced by the core of your innermost nothingness, your innermost beyond description truth. I
Goraksha Goraknathaya Shiva Shambho Namaya Shiva Shambho Namaya Shiva Goraksha Goraknathaya